and I am here once again in the lovely Champagne Dreams Productions branch office. Here we have a couple of lovely hair clips. Queen. I'm going to be a podcast queen tonight. Sorry, it's doing that buffering thing that I'm going to be talked about vintage toys, and this week they are doing the Motuniverse. Hello, Jill. It's almost like I scattered. I'm a little bit scattered today, and it's buffering. I'm so sorry. But yeah, so I am very excited to be on the 757 Hustle show. I'm trying to clear my table a little bit because I realized that my mirror is like 10 miles away from me, and I have things piled in front of it that make it hard to move it forward. So there we go. Let's do that. We did a little double prime action with the REM Beauty. This is like their serum luminizer. This is in the shade Quartz. And I put this on, and then I went in with the NYX face glue, and we did a little double prime action for that. Haven't used much recently, and that is Sunset Makeup. They are a company that does the colorful foundations, but at one point I did order one of their like regular skin tone foundations, and so that is the foundation that I'm working at. It's thick. It's thick. The colorful foundations are obviously like cosplay and stuff. I don't know if they intended this to be like regular everyday makeup, but she's thick. It's house paint. It's house paint, which I love because I'm a big old mouthy drag queen. But just be warned that it is quite go in very lightly, sheer it out with something. Hello, Dion. Hello, how's it going? So yeah, so this foundation is a little bit intense. Then we use the Sharp Tape. What? The Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. And then we did a little bit of Trixie Cosmetics. We did the S'more Sun bronzer stick, and then a little bit of the Hourglass powder. This is Eternal Light. This was a gift from Dion. Welcome to the chat. I'm gonna catch the replay. Still kind of hot and I'm sleeping a lot. Yes, take care of yourself. That is absolutely ridiculous what they're doing with your AC unit. I hope they get that taken care of very soon. I did use a little bit of downplay. This is from the Blend Bunny Masterclass, the Sculpt palettes. This is the light palette, and these are the shades that came in here. So we have that one. Yeah, so that's what we're working with so far, and now we are going to create an eye look, because in just under 2 hours, I'm gonna have to log on to the link for the 757 Hustle show. And yeah, we are going to be talking about Masters of the Universe. So he's doing, because of the new movie that's coming out, the new Masters of the Universe movie, he is doing the Motuniverse week. Hello, Vicente. How are you doing? I am doing well. Hello, Howard. Not too gay. Well, not yet. We're getting gayer. We get gayer every moment. But we are certainly going to up it here pretty soon. So they are doing the Motuniverse week. And so tonight, I am very excited. This is going to be fun, because tonight is New TV Who Dis, and we are going to be talking about the 1987 Masters of the Universe movie. I am gay too. Yes, welcome. Hello, Kelty. Jesus is King. Well, I mean, I'm glad that works for you. Good for you. And so I am a queen, and we're here to do some queen makeup. So yeah, we're going to have a good time. And so yeah, we're talking about the 1987 Masters of the Universe movie. I rewatched it. It is available on Tubi. And so that was kind of the challenge, was to go in and see it. I do know that I saw it as a kid, and I remember not really I was not a fan of it. I didn't really love it. I didn't really remember why, though. I just remember that I had this impression that I was like, oh, I didn't really love that. And then now watching it again, I think I might know why I didn't love it. And, ooh, let me change it to all messages, make sure I'm just not missing anybody. I do Sexy Queen. Well, thank you, Vicente. We're going to get sexier as we go. I'm very excited. I'm trying to decide what to do. I'm going to wear this dress that's got like pink roses. It's a Tora dress that I got from my aunt. I think I'm going to wear my dumb blonde necklace and a big blonde wig. And so I'm trying to decide, because I have a few things that I've been wanting to play with that are in kind of my to-be-used drawer. I do have a gift from Janet. I do have the Ophiuchus palette, which is from Terra Moons. This one is very green. I'm trying to decide if a green look is what I want for this particular moment. I know I want to use the pink lip kit, the bubblegum lip kit from Glamlight. This is really, really pretty. I think I want to give this, it's pretty, it's pretty, whatever. I think I want to give it its own moment. Do I want to do the Old Soul from Glaminatrix? We have this one. This could be kind of fun. Let's see. What else? We also have I have a bunch of green palettes up here that are all sitting here looking at me. This one has some purple. This is the Diaveroon Magnetic Mineralia. That one's pretty. I do have this one, which was a gift from Alex. I have the Woeful Whimsy. This is cute, but I don't, again, with the bubblegum pink and with the dress I'm planning to wear. I've got another green one. I've got another, this is the Shadow Sculpt from Unearthly. I don't think I want to go green. I just don't think that the outfit and the lip combo that I want to do, I don't think they work well. Let's go ahead and do, let's do the Old Soul. Let's go ahead and stick with the Old Soul from Glaminatrix. I think this will give us some fun options. And if we have to bring in, hello, pretty colors. Yes, there are some gorgeous colors in all of those palettes. And so this one, this one's very neutral, but it looks like there's some very beautiful, beautiful shimmers. I'm excited to play with this one a little bit. I think it'll give us a fun kind of neutral pink leaning base. And then we can really just amp it up at the end with a couple of these beautiful shimmers. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's start in this Old Soul palette. Let me go into Kindred, which is this pink shade. And I'm gonna go ahead and sketch out my eye shape as I tend to do. So let me go ahead and start with that. I did put some Urban Decay eye primer in Eden on my eyes. And so let's start in this inner corner. And I am gonna bring a lot of this into there. Just kind of, this is coming out darker. Kamala votes. Well, I hope she does. Voting is expressing your rights as a U.S. citizen, and Kamala is certainly a U.S. citizen and should vote. So, and she votes the right way, so she should vote. We need more people like that voting. We need fewer of the fascists voting. That's the great irony for me, is the fascists using the democratic voting system to do the shenanigans that they're doing. It just absolutely boggles the mind. But you know what? Someday, I don't know when, I mean, it's taken way longer than it should, but someday the Epstein files are going to be the Epstein trials. And I'm ready for that tangerine twat to be bounced right the fuck out of there and into jail. So I'm assuming that's what you were talking about. Teflon Dawn, but who knows? Who can say? All right, so let's get some of this. This is a very deep pink. This is very deep. This is much deeper than I would have expected. But I think it's going to look cute with the dress, so I do not mind. It's an experiment. It's playtime. But yeah, I did, in the description box to this video and also on my post tab, I did include the link to the 757 show. So if you want to come, again, it's 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. So I'm going to have to keep an eye on the getting ready here to make sure we don't go over, because I want to make sure that I'm not late. I have to, about 8:45, I need to meet them in the online studio room and then get ready to go. But yeah, I guess there's going to be like 5 of us on this panel, and we're going to be talking about the Masters of the Universe 1987 movie. So I don't want to talk about it too much here because that's going to be the point of the show, but I was really kind of surprised at it. Like, I didn't think it was terrible. I remember not liking it as a kid, and I think that some of it I think some of it has to do with the fact that that was probably the first time, 1987, I was born in 78, so I would have been like 9 years old. And that would have been one of the first times that like something that I enjoyed, like a cartoon, was given a live action movie treatment. So, Transformers the movie was animated. Care Bears movies were animated. My Little Pony the movie was animated. So this would have been the first time that I would have seen something that I enjoyed, Masters of the Universe, and it would have been given a live action treatment instead of an animated treatment. And so I think that it just looked so different. So like watching it now, I'm like, oh yeah, I probably wasn't grooving with that. I'm going to go into Echo, which is this deeper shade, and we're going to start to build the outer part of this matte look. So I can see how I might have been like, oh, this doesn't look like Masters of the Universe. This doesn't look right. This doesn't look like the characters that I know. Except He-Man was probably the closest, but like Evelyn, there were some elements that maybe suggested the cartoon Evelyn with the shape of her body armor and her little headdress that she wore, but like Teela didn't look anything like it. Teela, Man-at-Arms. They had a couple of the like enemy characters, so they had like a Beast Man. The other ones seemed to be unique to the movie. They didn't really look a lot like the ones from the cartoons. And so it just looked very different. And it also, I think that He-Man always had some kind of more sci-fi elements. They had the flying cars, the different flying vehicles. There were lots of maybe more sci-fi elements, but I don't think I picked up on that. I think when I think of like Castle Grayskull, and I think of Snake Mountain, and I think of the figures with their swords and their battle axes and all that kind of stuff, there weren't, at least among the figures that I had, maybe it was, other figures, but the figures that I had, there weren't a lot of guns, there weren't a lot of lasers and that kind of stuff. Some of the vehicles had them, but it was very sword and sorcery look and feel, and I felt like this movie looked very sci-fi, so like mixed with sword and sorcery, but very heavy on the sci-fi. And so I think that that's maybe why I didn't like it as a kid, is because they were so different in terms of the styling, and I was like, what is this? What is going on? So I think that might be part of it. Now this is real crazy. These are very triangular. I think I'm going to leave it like that for now. Actually, I'm not. Actually, let me go into Yearning. This is going to bring a little bit of brown to it, but let me blend between that dark. I think I want this outer part to have a little bit more depth, but I don't want to use that darkest shade. So let's bring that in this kind of triangle here and see what that does. Because obviously it's also going to shift once we do what? Grow, you're live. Woohoo. Hello, Gabby the Chicken. How are you doing? Yes, we are live. We're getting ready for a podcast appearance. I'm going to be on the 757 Hustle Show talking about the 1987 Masters of the Universe movie. And we are playing with Glam and Natrix. I didn't put that in the thumbnail because I didn't know what I was going to play with. But when I got over here and started looking at stuff, I've got in my to be used drawer, I've got a whole lot of green, which I need to get to. But I was like, the dress I'm wearing, the lip look that I want to do is not necessarily going to blend really well with green. So let's go ahead and do the Old Soul palette from Glaminatrix. This is my first purchase directly from Glaminatrix. Now, you will have noticed if you watched my videos, I have a recent Get Ratchet With Me where I played with the Tones of Turd. I did a Garbage Pail Kids, another 80s property. I did a Garbage Pail Kids inspired look. Sick combo, looking like a flower, already amazing. Thank you, I appreciate that. Yeah, I think we've got a good kind of setup. Now let me see what I want to do for shimmers. That's pretty. Ooh, all of these are pretty. Whisper has some blue. Ooh, I really like that first one, that kind of rose gold. Let me start with that. Loving that rose gold. That rose gold is called Remnant. That's that one here. So let's go ahead. Again, I'm a monster. I'm using one brush for this whole thing. I don't know how all of my brushes are always dirty when I'll come in here and literally do a look with like one brush. I'm a monster. I'm a feral creature. But let me go ahead and start just kind of putting, that's beautiful. I mean, I love that it's working those pink tones that are in here. Oh. Y'all, should we talk about the crazy day? So if you've watched my previous lives where I talked about Dakota Outright, which is the group that I was working with for the drag shows in Bismarck, North Dakota, Pride is coming up, and we had kind of a big thing where they like let me go very unceremoniously, and there's all kinds of drama that's happening. And I had taken some time last week. I stepped away from it because I was like, I need to process, and I've got a fundraiser show that I'm in. I need to focus on that. I tried to contact them this week and they left me on red. So today I put out a post and kind of like blew up my world a little bit. And so I was very direct with my feedback and with what I expected. There's been a lot of trust broken with the community, and so I said, in order to rebuild the trust, I asked for three things, basically. I asked for three things. Reminds me of certain lilies I've seen in greenhouse stores lately. Ooh, got a new Swiss cheese, Monstera. I love Monstera. Oh, and a two-tone colored pigweed. It is common weed amongst gardeners, but it is edible. Interesting. Yeah, so I asked for three things. I asked for, the first two were basically for my contract to be paid out. That if I had had a contract for this year, now we always had worked under verbal agreements. For a long time, the people on the board were friends, and so we always had sort of handshake agreements, and it was for, you know, when they made money, they paid me. You know, that was the thing, is that they asked me if I would come and do the show the first time, not knowing if anybody would even show up. And so I went with no expectation of payment, and they always treated me well. If they made money, they paid me. If they made more money, they paid me more. And so we never had a formal agreement. It just looks so cute. I had to get one. It's like this peachy tone mixed half and half. Each petal is split color-wise, and the other side is the sick light red color. Awesome combo for a common weed. I love that. It's just a good ground cover, and I always wanted one because they live year-round if overwintered well. Love it. That's very fun. Yeah, so I basically said if we had had a contract, I would have had 2 more shows this year. And then I just kind of laid it out and probably had more transparency than I should have. But I was just like, you know what? For each of these 2 shows, I would have been paid $300. And that covered my time as show director, as performer, and an MC, which frankly is not enough. For all of those things, to direct the show, coordinate with the DJ, coordinate with the group for all the hotels, and to MC the entire show and to perform 3 numbers, they were getting a bargain. They were getting a bargain for $300, let's say that. But I said, you know what? I would have had 2 shows. I would like you to pay out my $600 that I would have made, and I would like it to be paid as a donation to the Trans Lifeline. Hello, my name is Angie. Nice to meet you. Hello, Angie. I feel like you've been here before. Am I meeting you, or am I meeting you again? I feel like I have seen you before. So $600. And then I said, you know what? I think they also should reimburse me for my tips. I generally make $150 to $200 at a show in tips, and I think that they should pay out that money. Ooh, that's pretty. As well. Ooh, those are kind of pretty. It kind of has the texture of okra, but it's lemony with a nice sweet crunch like lettuce. Everything but the roots taste really nice. Find the name. I never remember the real one. That's all right. Yeah, so I said, you know what? Let's go low. Let's say $150, and there would have been 2 shows. I would like you to pay out $300 as a donation to this organization called the Sacred Pipe, which they do a lot of different work for Indigenous communities in North Dakota. But one thing they do is they do programming, and they have a conference about missing and murdered Indigenous women. And so I said, you know what? I would like the tip money as a show of accountability to be paid out as a donation to that organization earmarked for their work with missing and murdered Indigenous women. And then, I don't know, this is where I'm like, but I was like, you know what? All of this stems from the leadership. It's a message from the top down. And I called for the resignation of the president of the board. And so then I just dropped that on Facebook and then like went right back to work. So it's been a little bit of a crazy day. You are new. Well, welcome, Angie. I have a lot of Angies in my life, so I'm always appreciative when there's one more. Yeah, so that was kind of the day. It's just kind of dropping that on Facebook and like checking the responses from time to time. It's been a little bit nutty. The reason why I chose those charities and the reason why I didn't ask to have it paid out to me is that I was like, you know what? We live in a time of grifters. Like the government that we have now, it's just a bunch of grifters. The grifting never ends. And so I was like, you know what? I don't want to just ask for money for me. And their supposed reason. Now, of course, I'm going to talk about this eventually, but I'm not talking about it now while we're in the thick of it. But let's just say that there's the story and then there's the story behind the story. And the story is that they decided to go a different direction with their MC and show host because I'm too political for a queer organization. And I'm too political because I talk about supporting trans people. I talk about white queer people need to engage with their privilege and be better allies to queer people of color. And because I say that queer Republicans should be called on their hypocrisy for supporting a party that is actively trying to eradicate us. That was too political for them. So that's why they decided to go. Now, again, someday we'll have a full kiki where we talk about the story behind the story. Now is not the time for that. But because that's the public statement, that's what we had to go with. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to ask for this money for me. I'm going to ask for this money for charities that represent the politics that I was allegedly fired for. So that's how I chose that. We shall see. There has been no response from them yet. We shall see if there is a response. It's called Purslane. Anyhow, it usually has lackluster flowers, but the two varieties I have now look so different than the OG native ones. It's cute, it's cheap, also a lovely snack if you're outside. Grows on every continent, literally. I love that. I love that in the middle of this whole story, you are just having your own little, like, herbalism lesson. I'm here for it. I am here for it. I'm adding a little bit of Still, which is this kind of purpley color. And I'm trying to bring that down next to the dark because I think that's going to help that blend in a little bit. And I think that'll be a fun addition. A shot or two of gin, so I'm chatty as hell. I love that. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Because I'm always just on here yapping. So I am, if people want to be chatty, if they want to tell us their interests, here for it. I've had enough drama today, so if people want to tell me about fabulous plants that you can eat, I'm here for it. I'm absolutely here for it. I'm not here for this under eye. What do I want to do with this under eye? I don't know. I think I want to bring that rose gold metallic. Maybe I want to do that. This brush is way too big, but I'm going to do it, and I'm going to be mad at myself later. This is also way too flaky of a shadow to be that close to my eyeball with on a loose brush. It's the only one that puts me in the right mood, if I'm being honest. I myself don't love the flavor necessarily, more the consistency of experience. I love that for you. Oh my God. Yep, see, that's... I cannot be trusted with a makeup brush near my own eyeball. Because it's gonna go in at some point. It's gonna go in. I also need to figure out what I want to do with this inner corner. I feel like I want something different in the inner corner, but I don't know. I mean, I do have that Whisper shade that's got a little bit of blue to it. I have this shade. What does that one look like? Ooh, that's kind of a fun pop of like gold. That could be interesting, right? This is very silvery, pinky. Let's see, we've got... All right, I'm getting messages. So many messages. Let me tell you, I set my world on fire. Some mild tone of yellow wouldn't be too crazy, or a blue. Yeah, blue could be fun. I don't really have a good blue that I think will pop much. I did put a little bit of this in the outer part, and you can see it adds a little bit of that blue shine. But let's do this kind of gold. This is called Candlelight. Yeah, I think that brightens it just a bit. Yeah, it's subtle. It's more subtle than I would normally do. Gold isn't bad either. I was having these thoughts before you said, yeah, I like it. There is kind of a really yellow gold, but I think that's too dark. Sometimes I do like a weird pop in the inner corner, but I just think that this needs to have something that's a little bit softer and a little bit lighter. However, I think I will put a little bit of Whisper on top of that, the one with the blue. Ooh, that definitely took over, but I like it. But I love that there's some brightness. Yeah. Yeah, it's almost a too pigmented, but it's a good shout for sure. Yeah, with the right look, that gold, if you were using like these browny, purpley kind of matte shades, and then that on the lid, I think would be a gorgeous, gorgeous look with this. I want to also, at some point, I want to do a comparison of this with the Lethal Conjuring palette, because I don't think they're the same, but I think that they do have similar vibes. Grace, I promise I'm not coming for your why you don't need gig, but I do think it would be interesting to do a comparison to see if you could do a similar kind of look with these two. I'm going to put a little bit more of the gold on top, and we're just going to have a kind of mixture. It's getting very metallic-y, and I'm liking it. There we go. Yeah, very simple. I like that. I think it's fun. Let me see what the time is. Okay. Let me put on, now last time I had a little bit of trouble with this, but after it sat for a little while, it didn't bother me at all. This is the Essence Lash Princess. This is the green one, the false lash effect. I felt like my eyes were a little bit irritated at first, but then I felt like it went away pretty quickly. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this again and just see. Oh, and I'm gonna stab myself in the eye. God damn it. Okay. Well, I guess I may not know if it bothers me, because if I stab myself in the eye, that would probably bother my eye. Hello, Fabulous Joe. How are you doing? We are doing a look for a podcast tonight. I'm going to be on the 757 Hustle Show. The link to that show is in my description box, and it's on my post tab. If anybody would like to join, it's at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. And we're going to be talking about the 1987 Masters of the Universe movie, what we thought about it. We may say some of our hopes and dreams and thoughts for what's going to happen with the Masters of the Universe film that is coming out very, very soon. I think that glittery blue and gold, say lining your upper and lower eyelid with a nice smoky look with those 3 shades you pointed towards. Not a lot lining them, but a little would be so cool. Yeah, that could be a gorgeous look. That would be beautiful. Let me just kind of finger bang the edges of this shade just to make sure it's blending into that matte. I love this. I love the way this is working together. I think this is going to be gorgeous. Now I'm hoping, hello Janet, how's it going? I'm hoping that the pink lip kit from Glamlight will work with this. Now Glamlight does tend to be very neutral leaning, even with their sort of colorful lip kits. So I'm hoping that that You really do kick ass with your makeup. Well, thank you. And that's not just because you tend to do what I'm thinking before I even mention it. That's a wild parallel. Yeah, you do. We often are, if we've got one brain that we're sharing between us, we should get one that works, but we definitely think alike. So, that's what I used to always say to my other friend. I would say, if we're going to share a brain, can we get one that works? Because that's how I feel. But yeah, we do go towards a lot of the same things. Now, blush. Blush. I feel like I want to be subtle with blush. Did I just say that out loud? Did I say that? Subtle with blush. Where is that Blend Bunny? The lingerie blush palette. Is that still over here, or did I put it in the Blend Bunny drawers? I've been moving things around, and now I have to search for them. I need to go drill some holes in a bucket. I'll take you with me when I'm bored. Well, I hope that goes well. There's a hole in your bucket, dear Liza. Dear Liza. Are the blush palettes in here? Is this content while I just lean off into nowhere and talk to myself while I look through drawers? Do I see? You know, oh, I did. What am I thinking? What am I thinking? What am I thinking? I don't have. I was gonna look for the like Bare Cheeks or whatever it was, that lingerie palette. This was like my favorite product of last year. Did I forget that I have the Masterclass blush palette, which is everything I ever need in a blush ever? Because there are beautiful, beautiful, vibrant colors, and then there are also beautiful lingerie shades. We're gonna do maybe a little bit of these two pinks, and then maybe even like one of the kind of shimmery ones on top of it. And because I'm trash, I'm gonna use the same brush for all of this again. So I'm gonna do a little bit of, this is the shade Hotline, and then we're gonna do Tension. That's a pretty pink shade. I still need to do lashes and I need to do brows, but I'm so excited for blush that I was like, let's just move on to blush right away. We'll come back. We'll come back. I also have to pick out nails. I figure since I'm going to be on this like podcast, I should not look like a scrub and I should actually put nails on. So I'm going to have to do that. I'm loving that little bit of pink. It's very subtle, but it's very beautiful. So I'm bringing it down. I'm being a little bit more aggressive with it. Because when I look in the camera, I feel like I don't see a lot of blush. So I feel like I can be a little bit more aggressive with it. Because we're probably going to go over this face with the Hourglass powder. If I'm going to be on camera for a podcast, I feel like I should do a little bit of Hourglass just to kind of tame me down. How are you doing today, Janessa? You already look... Well, thank you. I appreciate you. I'm doing all right. We were talking about... I kind of have ignited some drama in my personal life related to that situation that I talked about last week of the group that, like, fired me from the drag show that I've been directing for 20 years. Things have kicked off. Things have kind of gotten a little crazy. Today I put out a big post where I called for the resignation of the president of the board. So there's that. Things have been a little wild. Now we're going to go into Tension, that lighter color. It's got a little bit of a peachy tone. I'm going to put that here. So yeah, I've just been like, my phone has been like a little bit crazy all day today. And so I've been trying to avoid it / sneak peeks and just see how things are going. So, hey, yeah. Hey, Janet. All right, so there's, I like that combo. Should I do the kind of highlightery blush shade before the Hourglass or after? Let's do it before because we can always add more. So this, I'm gonna go into Heroine, which is kind of this pearly pink champagne, kind of shimmery, highlighty kind of blush. Let me go just on the top here. I'm using the same brush because I'm an animal, but I probably should get a smaller brush that's more targeted. But I just want a little bit of, I just want some shine. I just want some shine. Is that so wrong? A little bit of shine on my nose. Cupid's bow. Yeah, we're going kind of a little bit subtler. A little bit subtler tonight. We're talking about 80s cartoons, and so I'm going to be on a panel, and so I was like, I don't have to go full clown tonight. Maybe we'll try to look like we're somebody who knows what they're talking about. And yeah, let me just kind of go into tension again. I'm loving that. Let me go ahead and go into the hourglass. So this is my old hourglass palette. This is from several years ago. Hello, Everton FC. How are you doing? Right. Yes. Right, here you are. So let's go ahead and go into Infinity Powder. That's the big one. That's the one where we've hit the little tray that it bakes on. So I guess that's kind of like pan. And let's just start that right here on the cheek. I'm very excited. I ordered dresses today. Hello, Tanya. How are you doing? I ordered dresses today for my mom and I. Mama Champagne and I are going to do a photo shoot together. So I'm not going to say too much in case she happens to sneak on here, because she sometimes does come and watch these lives or watch the replay. I showed her the dress, but I haven't told her too much about the theme. I'm planning a little surprise, but I've never taken like formal fun photos with Mama Champagne. So I was like, you know what? My photographer friend in town, I'm always looking for reasons to book her. And my bonus came in, and so I was like, you know what? Let's do a photo shoot with Mama Champagne. There we go. It just softens everything. It just looks beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Hey, ask. Let's see. Hello. People are saying hello, Smokey. Yeah, we did kind of a little bit of a smokier eye tonight. We've done the mascara, but we haven't actually put on the lashes yet, so we're going to add those. I don't know, I was just inspired to go to the face and start doing blush. It's very subtle. Now with the hourglass, it's very, very subtle. Look at that, y'all. Look at that. On an hourglass palette, I've actually hit the pan. That's so exciting, although not exciting, because like I said, I don't know that I've got this powder in any of the other ones. I'm sure I've got similar ones, but I love this one. I've been loving it so much, clearly, because I've hit pan. But yeah. In fact, I'm going to put a little bit of this blush that's on here. I'm going to add that into the blush. Just here to kind of darken a little bit. I love it. Yeah, it still has that highlightiness to it. And so that one is, what is it? So Infinity Powder is the big one that I like. This Strobe Blush in Vibrant Heat. And so we did a little bit of that one, just to kind of add a little bit back. It didn't add very much. I don't really notice it, but it's enough that, just to settle a little bit. Where is my Fix Plus? Here you are. Okay, now that we've got all that powder on, we're baking the cake. Let's just melt it all together. Love it. Love it. I think that looks gorgeous. Hello, Mama Champagne. We were just talking about you. Hello, hello. Yeah, so this is the face so far. So we still have to add eyebrows, we have to add lashes, and we have to do the lip combo. But this is kind of the face. Yeah, so tonight we are doing that 757 Hustle Show. It's a podcast that I was on before, talking about vintage toys. He's a lot of fun. He's very nice. He was very sweet when I was on there the last time. And he asked me to come back for Motuniverse week. Is this a drag look, K-Bell? It is. Yes, we are doing, well, I'm not doing a drag show, but I'm a drag queen who is doing a podcast tonight. I'm going to be on the 757 Hustle Show. So the link to the show, which starts at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, is in my bio, and it's in my description box, and it's also in my post tab. So if you missed it, it is in my posts as well. So we're going to do the Glam Light Bubblegum Lip Kit, but before we do that, I should put another coat of mascara on, and I should probably figure out the rest of these eyes. How are we doing for time? 7:40, delightful. We have plenty of time. I do want to get a few TikToks recorded before the show happens, because I think the show is a 2-hour show. I can't remember if it's a 1 hour or a 2 hour. I think it might be a 2 hour, but so if it is, I don't know that I'm going to want to record a ton of TikToks at like 11 p.m. So if I can get done a little bit early, that would be great. Yeah, so this is, and again, for those of you who popped in a little bit later, this is the Old Soul palette by Glaminatrix Cosmetics. That's what we are using tonight. I had a bunch of like green leaning palettes that are in my to be used drawer, and they all need their moment, but because of what I'm wearing and because of the lip look I wanted to do, I was like, let's go ahead and use this because it gives us that nice, it's dramatic, but it's not super colorful. It's a very like more somber, smoky, beautiful kind of tones, but beautiful and glamorous. And then we can add the pink lip to it. If we hate the pink lip, once we get it on, if we hate the pink lip, we will switch to something else. But that's what I wanted to use for this one. So yeah, let's go ahead and grab our Glisten Cosmetics. This is my like go-to eyebrow palette. It's such a mess. I've been working so much through these. I love these so much. Well, let me go ahead and again just get a little bit of, I'm gonna do another brown brow. Call me boring. I know I haven't, this look I think calls for a brown brow, although I am going to use a little bit of these metallics here. Maybe we'll do that. We'll probably still add some shimmer from the palette, but I was like, let's start with the brown and then maybe bring in some of that gold. I think I'm gonna have to order a new eyebrow palette from Glisten pretty soon. Now that I've figured out what I actually reach for, I think I would maybe make the selections a little bit differently than I did the last time. This brown split pan, I would probably get 2 of those because I do tend to use brown as the base more often than not. And in fact, I would probably get one of the split pans and then I would look for like a deep brown. Hello, Alex, how are you doing? I would look for a deep brown, just a single color pan, and then have those 2. I would definitely have a teal. I use that a lot. I would look for more of a purple. The one that I bought that I thought was purple was actually kind of a dark blue. And so I think I would get a purple. I might get like a deep pink, like berry wine kind of color. And I don't think I would get the red color again. So I definitely would make some changes. So if I do get a new best eyebrow palette, I will definitely let everybody know what I ordered. But I do love these cake liner brows. They're so much easier than what I used to do. There we go, Disney Witch. Yes, Mama Champagne, we were talking about you because I told them that I wasn't going to give any details, but that I had ordered us dresses for a photo shoot. There we go. The first one always goes on much easier than the second one. I have to finesse the shape a little bit, but otherwise it's looking pretty good. It's a little bit, there's a little bit of patchiness in the color, But that's okay because I always put like some sort of powder on top of it. So not to worry. So let's go ahead and now, Jesus take the wheel. We're gonna do the second eyebrow. This is where it could all go wrong, and often does. So let's do the second eyebrow. Okay. I mean, for a base, it's not looking too bad. Now it's when I go to thicken it that it sometimes gets weird. Hello, hello. I'm excited and terrified at the same time. You know, yes, we are going to make you very glamorous. I'm very excited for this. There were some reels, and I can't wait until after we've done the photo shoot so that I can tell people more about it. Because I had seen some reels on TikTok that inspired me. And I was like, clearly Mama Champagne and I need to do that. There we go. Again, the eyebrows are never twins. They're never even really sisters. But they are... they live in the same zip code. That's what we can hope for. They live in the same zip code. So let me go ahead and... oh, I was going to add that. Let me put a little bit of mixing medium into the gold. So we've got this split pan. I'm going to do the lighter gold and just do that at the front. Now I don't know how that's going to affect if I put powder in there. Let me clean this brush a little bit. Everybody's saying hello, hello. We love that. So let me go ahead and clean that. And let's get a little bit of this beautiful, beautiful gold shade. Mix that into a little paste. I'm using the Krylon mixing medium. That's kind of my favorite. Krylon. I'm also in the mood to rediscover more of the like theatrical products. Like I love Graftobian and Maron and Krylon and Ben Nye. I don't know if I love this. I think the shimmer needs to come from a shadow, but I should do it on the other side. We are getting dolled up for, I'm going to be on the 757 Hustle Show at 9 p.m. Central Time, which is a podcast I did where we talked about vintage toys. Tonight we are talking about the 1987 Masters of the Universe. It is Motuniverse week over on his show. And so tonight I'm going to be on a panel where we talk about the 1987 Masters of the Universe film. Did we love it? Did we hate it? Is it garbage? Does it hold up? Do we have a new nostalgia for it? All of our thoughts and feelings. Where did I set that palette that I was using? Here we go. How do we feel about it? What are our thoughts? And so we're going to explore all of that. Here's, oh, how is it possible that I have a clean little singe paddle brush? That definitely was hiding. It was hiding. Everybody's saying hello. I love the eye colors and they look really bronzy. Yes, we went very, it's the Old Soul palette from Glaminatrix, and we went very like, we wanted to keep it very kind of glam but subdued. So not the usual hooker clown that I am. I'm going into Echo, which is that dark shade that I used. And I'm covering up that metallic cake liner. That was not the move. That's good to know. I've tried using the metallic cake liners a couple times, and now we have a brow shadow. That's fine. And I just have not liked the results. So again, if I do order a new eyebrow palette from Glisten Cosmetics, which I'm kind of overdue to do because some of these are hitting pan And some of the shades are not what I thought they would be. I don't think I will order any metallics. I think that I will order all matte cake liners for my brows. Okay, let's take that down to there. I mean, one side is always thicker than the other. But how is it possible that this is the better brow this time? This is always the better brow, and then this one is like a challenge and a trauma. And like tonight, if I could just sit this way through the whole podcast, it might be okay. But Chef Boyardee over here is just like making their presence known. So this is the troubled brow tonight. Trying to thicken. There we go, thicken a little bit. Now it looks a little, it's still not great, but it's better. It's better. Is it better? Is this content? How do you feel about the new He-Man movie coming out? I'm excited. I'm excited to see it. It looks like they've done some really interesting comic accurate things. I think the costuming looks great. I think there are some fun people in it. And so I'm excited. And I will say that I remember not really liking it as a kid. And I have lots of thoughts that I will save for the podcast, but I think that rewatching it this week, I feel like I have a little bit of a new appreciation for it. And of course, this was what 1987, so this was long before Friends. I didn't know that Courtney Cox was in it because when it came out, I didn't know who Courtney Cox was. And now going back and watching it, I'm like, oh. Sometimes when you find famous people in like an early role and you're like, ooh, it's kind of fascinating. Kind of like when you go and watch Leprechaun and you realize that Jennifer Aniston is in Leprechaun and you're like, what even is my entire life? Oh, I was never really into He-Man growing up, but it looks fun. I had a ton of He-Man. I loved He-Man. I loved She-Ra. The He-Man toys were absolutely fabulous. I thought they were great. I had some really, really kooky ones. I think it could be so, so cool. All right, what do we need? We need, oh, I need eyelash glue. Oh, I bet it's in my, let me see if I can grab it from here with my back scratcher as like a grabber. Because I think it's in my purse that I took to the fundraiser. Ugh. This was my like work purse. I always have, so when I go to a fundraiser, when I go to a drag show, any kind of thing, I always have two purses. I have like the event purse that I walk around with that I keep a little bit of money and put my tips into or whatever. And then we have the work purse. And in this case, this is often my work purse. And that's the one where I put my extra lipstick, I put extra nail glue, lash glue, and I think my lash glue might be in here. If not, I don't know where it is. It might have ended up in my regular bag, but it is not in here. Where's my lash glue? I thought for sure I brought lash glue, but oh no, it's right here. Okay, we have lash glue. We have lash glue. Now we need lashes. Lashes. Let's do, these are the Vixen lashes. These are a favorite. This is a pair that's just sitting here. Why not? Why not? They're right here. Why not? Why not? That's another thing I'm going to be, for those of you who are around North Dakota, especially if you're on the western side, I am going to be, I've already forgotten the date, I'm so sorry, but I'm going to be in Minot's Pride Show. After the kerfuffle in Bismarck, they reached out. I've done shows with them before, but they asked me if I would like to be part of their Pride Show, and I think they are doing a focus on North Dakota performers, and I'm very excited, since I will not be celebrating official Pride with Bismarck, to be part of Pride in Minot. I think that will be fantastic. And yeah, this has some aggressive shimmer shadow on it. Some leftovers. It's fine. It won't mess up the look, but I'm just trying to grab all of the glue off of it. So that I can smear a whole bunch of new glue all over it. Fun. Okay. So now I have the second one. I'm terrible. I know I probably, when I take them off, should just peel the glue immediately. Like that should be part of my process. And at some point, some of these lashes, if I want them to stick around for several uses, I do have like a lash cleaner and like a glue absorber kind of thing. And I know that I should probably do that, but I don't because I'm feral. But yeah, I do love these Vixen lashes. I have so many pairs. I love it. I wish they would bring them back. These are from Blend Bunny. And their lashes, I don't know, they didn't sell very well. And so like most of mine I got on like clearance for $2 a pair because people didn't buy them. I don't know why, because they are phenomenal. They are so good. But yeah, so let me go ahead and start unpacking this while I wait for the glue to get tacky. This is the Bubblegum Lip Kit. And so I did an unboxing earlier this week. And so tonight we are going to actually put this to use. This is going to be my lip combo for the podcast. And yeah, let's go ahead. And while I wait for those, let me do the lip line. Let me do my lip line. So this is a shade, it's kind of a dark brown. I love that. We love a Cholo lip. We're going way outside. Remember that your natural lip line is merely a starting point for negotiation. Eeyore. Hello, Aya. How are you doing? We definitely... The second part is always the challenge. Hello. Are you doing the podcast from home? I'm doing the podcast from right here. I'm going to do the podcast right here in my office. And yeah, so I don't have to go anywhere. So I've already arrived, so that's good. And I'm going to fill in a little bit of the lip. I think the lipstick with this is pretty opaque, but just to be sure, I want to make sure that I am ready. And I want to give it that depth. Because again, for this look, we're giving depth, we're giving smoky. Fill in the outer part of the lip. There we go. So now we're just going to have weird lined lips, and we're going to go back to the lashes, and then we will come back. Okay, now you can all watch me struggle putting on lashes. Oh, that glue is feeling really goopy. They always say, like, wait 30 seconds. And I'm like, whose lash glue is even remotely sticky at 30 seconds? Because how long did it take me to line my lips? And this doesn't even feel hardly tacky at all. And that was like at least a minute and a half, I would say, to line my lips. Alexa, what time is it? 7:59, so I have an hour. I have 45 minutes, so I'll have to join the backstage. So that will not be bad. So I have to join the backstage in 45 minutes, and then we'll be going live in an hour. Love it. All right, that feels like it's attached. Sometimes lashes, they trick you. They try to trick you. And yeah. I don't know. Aya, are you ever going to finish that sentence, or you're just going to say, ew, you're my what? My glamorous look? Clearly, I have stunned you into silence, which is really what I wish for all trolls. That you be stunned into silence. All right, now let's do the second one. That lash went on pretty trouble-free for the most part, so give me strength, because this one will probably be the one that fights me. Hello, Tanya's jumping in and saying hello to people. Hello, hello. Yeah, this lash glue still feels wet. What is going on? Because that whole time that I was putting on the other lash, like, this was still sitting here not getting tacky. What is going on? Okay. I'm feeling like I'm getting cocky because I have a little bit of extra time. I'm like, should I do glitter on the highlight? I feel like the blush is so subtle, and this eye look, while it's glam and it's smoky and rich, thank you, Sunshine, it is a little bit toned down for me. I was on the phone with Kroger that jacked up my pickup order, missing 120 in groceries. Had to get my 120 in groceries was missing. Girl. Get them. Get her, Jade. I very rarely make Drag Race references because I don't watch a lot of Drag Race, but I do like Get her, Jade. That is a favorite. Let's see. So here we have... Okay, this I think is mostly sticking. We'll come back and check it on the lashes. I think they're okay, but again, the lash glue is not behaving itself. Okay, so there's that. Let's put on the lipstick. So this is the Glamlight Bubblegum lipstick. And this is going to be pink. Oh, yep, that's... Oh, and it smells like bubblegum. I mean, I've always complained that I wanted them to do more color. This is colorful. It's very Neapolitan ice cream without the vanilla. This lash is loose. Oh. Yep. Okay, so this lash glue is not prepared. Okay, let's... Well, I mean, it's obviously still wet. Let's see if I can re-stick it. I told you, one lash always goes on, and then the other lash is like sending a cease and desist before my fingers even get within touching distance. Okay, there we go. I'm at Kroger right now. It's a Kroger night. We don't have Kroger up here. I just went to Aldi last night and did a big grocery shop. I thought I was going to throw down with a bitch. No lemonade, no chicken, no deli meat, missing all kinds of stuff. Oh no, smack the manager for me, Janet. Will do. I love that. Yeah, I went to Aldi last night, and I don't know when it happened, because sometime this winter, I used to not go to Aldi unless Mama Champagne was in town, because she loves to go to Aldi, and the checkout experience stresses me out, and so I wouldn't go. And then I found something that I fell in love with. I'm so basic. I'm such a basic bitch. The thing I fell in love with was water. Water! They have this like flavored water that I absolutely am obsessed with. So now I'm an Aldi shopper. But when I had checked this winter, because I wanted to go after work and I wanted to make sure they were still open, they were open till 8:30. Well, apparently at some point in the last couple of months, I don't blame you, Tanya, who needs the hassle. I get so tired of people trying to pass the buck. Yeah, they cost about the same now, right, Mama? Apparently they close at 8. So I was rounding out. I was in the end of my shopping anyway. I was at the freezer case, which is like the last aisle. And this tall guy, he was actually kind of cute, but he came up and he was like, just to let you know, we close in a few minutes. So I was like, okay, that's fine. And so I finished walking through that last frozen aisle, and then I went to the self-checkout. I'm much less stressed at Aldi now that there's self-checkout. I love it. I know some people hate it. I am here for it. But I went to the self-checkout, and there were none of those like 50-cent plastic totes. Clearly, that's what people recognize from Aldi is like the plastic totes. They use them all the time. That's their thing, is that they sell these little totes. They do reusable bags, all that kind of shit. There's none of them there. So I'm looking around, and the guy walks by, and he's going to like lock the door because it's 8 o'clock. So I said, oh, excuse me, do you have any of the small plastic bags? And he says, we don't do plastic shopping bags here. And then just like walks off. And I was like, did you just talk to me like that? To me, a paying customer, to me. I understand. I've worked retail. I know that those people who come in at the end of the shift and take long are annoying. If I had known you closed at 8, I would maybe not have come in, or I would have bought less stuff or something. I did not know. I thought it was 8:30. I'm so sorry, but that's not an excuse to be rude. And so I was like, okay. And so then I did a couple of the paper bags, but I had like big waters, and paper bags you have to carry one at a time because these paper bags don't even have handles, and they're 12 fucking cents a piece. And so I was like, so this other guy started walking by, and I said, excuse me, do you have any of the plastic tote bags? And he's like, and he looks over at the rack where they normally are, and he's like, oh yeah, I should have some. Let me go. Oh, and so after the guy walked by and was rude, and I was like, well, now I'm gonna make you wait until I walk to all the little like register spaces to see if there were any, and there weren't. So then I saw the guy, and I was like, do you have any of these? He's like, yeah. So he brought me 4 of them. I'm ringing up or whatever. And then because I am from North Dakota, I'm a Midwest girl. I love a little passive aggression. I love it. And so on the way out then, the tall guy, the kind of hot guy, had to come and unlock the door for me because he had locked the door. And so as he was unlocking the door for me, I pointed into my cart and I said, those are obviously the plastic bags that I meant. And he looks at it like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even think of that. And I was like, mm-hmm. And then I just walked out. And I even didn't bag up the water in the store. I was like, I'm not going to make them wait for me to bag up all this water, because I seriously buy like 30 waters at a time, like these liter bottles of water. I buy a bunch of them. And so I just like one of the bags I used, and I took the other 3 I just threw them in the cart, and I was like, I'll bag them up when I get to my car so we can lock the door again. And so I was like, mm-hmm. And then I went out to the car and and then I put my cart back and it was fine. But, oh yeah, that's a call and a tweet to corporate. You are much more dedicated than I am, Tanya. I would rather just have my little passive-aggressive moment. Also, he might be my next ex-husband, so I don't want to get too aggressive. That's why we like passive aggression in this house. Because we don't know. He might become my next ex-husband. I need to keep that open. He was still kind of cute, so yeah, we're not gonna go that route, but I appreciate that. I appreciate the dedication. So here's the look. What do we think? Yeah, talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to throw on a dress and a little bit of hair since we have time. Because what time is it? It's 8:08. Where my girls at? From the front to back. Now is you feeling that? Anybody remember 808 from the like late 90s, early 2000s? Where my girls at? One hit wonder. We love it. Oh, we're here for it. Okay. Let me grab my dress and my blonde wig. Okay. I'm wearing this rose dress. I've gotten quite a bit of mileage out of this. I have to say, my Aunt Lorene, if you see her sometimes in chat, she's Minneapolis Mama, but that's my Aunt Lorene. And she was cleaning out her closet and she sent me a bunch of the Torrid Betsy Johnson dresses. And they are perfect for filming. I mean, I just thought they were cute, but I never wanted to pay the torrid prices. And so when she's just like, can I send you a bunch of them for free? Obviously, I was like, yeah. You can. Absolutely. I put things down where my feet go. Okay. Oh, and I didn't grab a wig. Okay. Hold on. Let me move these. I have things that keep getting in the way, so I move them around. So this is like I know, Jeffree Star, gross. But this is an old bag, and it's perfect for sponges, so I use this for sponges. And so we have that. So yeah, so that's the look. Let me take my little knives out. I could just go on like this. This would be quite the look. Another group called Black had a song called 808. Oh, that's fun. No, it wasn't 808. Everything was area codes. Do you remember that, like, early 2000s? Everything was area codes. It was 702, right? Is that the group? Maybe I'm thinking of that song 808, and that's why I said, Alexa, who did the song Where My Girl's At?
702 performed Where My Girl's At. It's their signature song from 1999.
From 1999.
Elliott. Would you like me to play more songs by 702?
No. And stop calling them 702. It's 702.
You're absolutely right. It's 702, not 702.
It's not 702. It's 702. 702.
Got it. 702. Thanks for clarifying.
I don't know if you could hear her side of that conversation, but she will not listen. She just keeps saying you're absolutely right and then says the same shit that she said before. She's gonna talk again. Yeah. Yeah, so here we have and then I'm gonna wear my, I just love these little acrylic necklaces from Etsy. They're so fun. I was thinking about wearing this. I found this, Mama Champagne and I went to a couple thrift stores and I found this and I was like, this is so cute. I remember these statement necklaces. Why did these go away? I think they're so adorable, but I'm gonna wear one of my acrylic. Where is it? Where's the one that I want? This one, I'll probably wear the earrings too. I was like, this will be cute. I love it. Dumb blonde. I know it's backwards, but it says dumb blonde, and so that's gonna be, and then I'll wear a big blonde wig, obviously. Yeah, me arguing with her. That's the trouble. They made her more lifelike, and now we like argue sometimes. It's very sad. It makes me concerned for my mental health that I'm just sitting in my house and in my office arguing with the speaker. But that's the world we live in. That's the world we live in. I do argue with her all the time. All the time. It's so ridiculous. Make me go boom like an 808. Boom, baby. There was some other song that was something like an 808 drum. But yeah, 702, not 702. Jesus Christ. And then you try to correct her and she's like, absolutely right. It is 702, not 702. Did you hear that? Did you hear the craziness? That's what I live with. That's why we argue all the time. Because she'll say the same damn thing and act like she's saying something different, and she's not. Hello from Tel Aviv, Oscar De La Yenta. I love that. Hello, how are you doing? I left my wig over there, so I'll be right back again. Although maybe I should put my earrings on before I do that. I decided, I think these are a cute little jewelry set, because then I have these little waffle earrings. How cute are they? They're from the same seller. Her name is I'm Your Present. And she makes beautiful, beautiful acrylic jewelry. So if you look on Etsy and look up I'm Your Present, all one word, there's no like apostrophe or anything. I'm Your Present, and there is that. Beyonce and Deja Vu says 808 in the intro. Oh, because 808, is that Houston? Is that the area code for Houston? Because I know Destiny's Child was from Texas. Or is 808 an area code in Chicago? I can't remember. I don't know. How cute are they? Super fun. Let me grab the wig. Let me go grab my dumb blonde wig. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Let me just sit back down. I almost tried to put the wig on while I was over there, and then I was like, you still have these dumb hair clips. So maybe don't crunch a wig down on top of that. That doesn't seem like a way for you to be happy with your life choices. Okay. Let's put a wig on. Kim, that low-down monkey with a wig on. Nene Leakes from the first season of Real Housewives of Atlanta. I had to stop watching The Real Housewives because it was affecting my mental health, but I did watch the first season or two. The first 2 or 3 seasons, actually, of Real Housewives of Atlanta. They were always my favorite. And I just love, there was this one time where Nene Leakes was like, Kim, that low-down monkey with a wig on, because she always had wigs on. And they were kind of obvious wigs. They were not, for as much money as she claimed to have, they were never like that great of wigs. Nope, it's a drum reference. Oh yeah, because like an 808 drum. That's in another song about like an 808 drum. 702 is the one that's an area code. That's, now my brain has decided that 702 and 808 are the same thing. Send help. Send help. I don't know what's going on. So now the last thing we need to do is let's go ahead and put some of this bubble gum. Let's put some bubblegum gloss. Yeah, it did look kind of chic. It was very like Annie Lennox. I love it. But let's put some gloss. God, this smells like bubblegum. Oh. I do love an oopy goopy lip, but this is going to be all over my teeth, and I know I'm going to have to touch this up throughout the broadcast, but... there she is. She's a woman. All right, so there we are. So yes, this is the look. Definitely check out the link that's in the description box of this video, or it's in my post tab. And definitely come, thank you, Janet. Definitely come and check out tonight's episode of the 757 Hustle Show. We're going to be talking about the 1987 Masters of the Universe movie. I'm very excited to talk about it. I rewatched it this week, and yeah, we're having a good time. We're going to have like 5 of us on the panel. I'm very excited to meet some new people and talk about this. I think the guy's name is George. I always forget his name, but I think it's George. He's from New Jersey, and he is very sweet. He's very nice. He was lovely when I was on the show the last time, and so I'm very excited. But yeah, so this is it. Let me check out, because what time is it? It's about 8:18. Yeah, I want to make sure I have some time to take some pictures. I want to, what's my phone battery at? So my phone battery is still at 72%. We're not doing bad. So I might try to charge it just a little bit, but my phone battery holds out pretty good for live streams. So this is the look. What do we think? Are we loving it? I got to put some nails on, and I'll maybe find a little bit more jewelry. Dawn is sending me reels. But yeah, so I hope everybody enjoyed this little look coming together, and I hope you enjoyed all this story time. It's been a wild time around here, wild time, but I am very excited, and I'm going to go. Mama Champagne, love the look. Have fun with the podcast. I'm sorry, but I don't think I can listen to a panel discussion about Masters of the Universe. I'm old. What? You're not an aficionado of the 1987 Masters of the Universe film? Starring Courtney Cox of Friends fame? Weird. Yeah, so if anybody is interested in that or talking about vintage toy Masters of the Universe type stuff, definitely check out the podcast. I'm going to have a fun time. I think it's going to be good. And so, yeah, let me see if I can remember my outro. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by. Replay crew, don't forget to circle back around and leave that comment down below. Help me feed the beast. Help me feed the algorithm. And replay crew, you rock. Don't forget to leave your comments down below as well. While you are down there, don't forget to give me that thumbs up to tell me that you appreciated this. Or if you're like, girl, why are you being on a podcast talking about Masters of the Universe? When are you going to grow up? Then go ahead and leave me that thumbs down. It's not going to help. I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. And so, but leave me that thumbs down. It's all engagement. The algorithm isn't a picky bitch, and neither am I. And while you're down there, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and become part of the family. Hit that bell icon so you'll be notified of all future uploads. I try really hard to make sure I have at least one video or live per week. And if you're lucky, if you're very lucky, you might even get a bonus video. Ooh, He-Man-erific. If you'd like to chat, banter, or commiserate between uploads, all of my social media will be linked down in the description box below, including a link to my website, just pretend it's there, The World of Champagne at JanessaJ.com. Thank you so much for watching. I love and appreciate all of you. I hope you are having a lovely night. Let me see if I missed anything. Janet saying goodbye. Battle Cat was cute in the new trailer. Yes, Cringer. I hope they do the Cringer to Battle Cat thing. I hope that's going to be fun. Have a great rest of your night, everyone. Have fun. Yes, thank you. So if you would like to join us on the podcast, the 757 Hustle Show, like I said, I'm going to remember to go and turn this video to public once we end it. So it'll be in the description box of this video, and it's on my post tab. So if you do want to come watch it, again, it's at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. Love to have you come and join us and geek out about Masters of the Universe. And until I see you again, bye. Awkward ending of the stream.